3 games down, 3 to go here on the first day of the 2019 MAAC basketball tournament. And the first game on the men's side is the 8th-seeded Marist Red Foxes and the 9th seed, the St. Peter's Peacocks. Winner moves on to take on Iona on Friday night. And we appreciate you joining us here in the MAAC Championships. I'm Eddie Occupensi along with Manhattan Jasper Hall of Famer and my good friend Chris Williams. And Chris, it's March, it's tournament time, my friend.
This is the best time of the year, partner. We're looking at one of the better matchups of the tournament. Anytime you see 8-9, you know it's going to be good stuff.
Going to be a close one. St. Peter's actually swept Marist during the regular season. For that guy, Shaheen Holloway, in his first season on the sidelines for St. Peter's, and then a longtime MAAC head coach, John Dunn, on the opposite sideline. He made the switch from St. Peter's to Marist in the offseason. And Chris has this Red Foxes team, the 8th seed, but always a dangerous team to play come this time of year.
Again, coaches brought a certain amount of toughness to this Marist team, something they had lacked in past seasons. Looking forward to see what they do in this first round.
St. Peter's swept Marist in the regular season. It was a pair of wins for the Peacocks, and right off the jump, third team All-MAAC senior Brian Parker getting us started.
Brian Parker is 6'3", 215, power guard, goes right to the block there. He doesn't settle for jump shots. He goes right where he knows he can score.
Parker averaging just under 15 points a game in his senior season. It's a nice move on the jump for one of the young Peacocks. That's freshman Dallas Watson.
Dallas Watson is one of those young players who didn't probably have the season he would have liked to have, but again, being aggressive, going to the glass early.
Three-pointer off the mark from senior Ryan Funk, who's doing something he didn't do a whole lot during the regular season, and that's get the start in this game. He came off the bench in 28 of Marist's 29 games this year.
Like Ryan Funk a lot. He brings that athleticism, and he can shoot the basketball from long range.
Mid-range jumper is good for David Knutson in an early 2-point Marist lead.
Knutson's one of those guys, 6'4", solid. You notice him at the YMCA. The way he plays now, he'll be playing like that for 20 years going forward.
Yeah, he's going to be a first-round pick in those pickup games moving
no
forward.
Question about it.
Mentioned it, St. Peter's twice victorious in the regular season over Marist, as this travel will send it back to the Red Foxes. Way back in early January, they beat Marist 72-63, and then they returned the favor late in February in Poughkeepsie, winning 65-59.
Well, early on, Eddie, you talked about seeing Coach John Dunn on that Marist side. So used to seeing him with the St. Peter's crew there. I think a lot of emotion played in both of those basketball games, obviously as the coach and players. Players want to come out and play hard for possibly a coach who left us and saying, well, Coach, we want to show you how good we are even without you.
Yeah, that's an interesting matchup. It's, I guess, kind of poetic that this is the first-round matchup, that you get John Dunn, who, again, was the longtime head coach at St. Peter's, led them to the 2011 MAAC Tournament Championship. Parker finding Knutson, a huge block. That's Casey Nadefo, the freshman, one of the most athletic players in the league.
Great job recovering on that block.
Both he and senior Sammy Dowu able to meet up top. Extra pass Turner in the corner, Watson.
Great start for Watson. Gets to the basket early, that time knocking down the 3-ball.
St. Peter's will pressure up. 5 early points for the freshman from Brooklyn, New York. Winner of this one moves on to take on the top seed, regular season champion Iona on Friday night. Team's getting scrappy going to the ground. Marist with an extra possession, but then can it be saved? And no, Knutson cannot save it. And I think we see some early nervous moments, Chris, some early jitters between these two.
Again, you're going to fill each other out in an 8-9, so evenly matched. But you know both teams are going to go so hard, Eddie. This is all or nothing.
There is John Dunn, and there is Shaheen Holloway, the former point guard at Seton Hall, was a tremendous player under
Coach
Kevin
has
Willett.
done a solid job, Eddie, in his first year. Again, following someone as tough as Coach Dunn, he's put together some tough guys. Again, you notice when new coaches come in, at some point they want to bring their guys in, but he's done really good with these players he has here.
Well, you mentioned it, had Devontae Turner on the third team All-League and really made Turner even more of an explosive guard than he was in the past, as Quinn Taylor is fouled going to the rim.
Strong move there by Taylor, but just to go right back to Devontae Turner, understanding what Holloway knows from his playing days, giving that same knowledge to Turner, he can only be better. Going strong to that baseline, throw your body in there, get that contact. Again, that's a solid move, earning 2 free throws.
Foul will go on Tobias Show on the way. Before getting the head job at St. Peter, Shaheen Holloway, 8 seasons on the sideline at his alma mater under Kevin Willard, where he was a phenomenal player back in the day, was a McDonald's All-American in high school, and we got to talk to Shaheen Holloway during the season. He's excited for this opportunity, first time to lead a college basketball program.
And he should be. I loved watching him when he was in high school, going into college. This guy could flat out play, got everyone involved, and he could score it himself.
Marist has checked in Austin Williams as he'll throw it forward to Isaiah Lamb. An early 7-4 St. Peter's lead here in our first round game, the first of 3 here this evening from the Times Union Center in Albany, New York. Lamb, an aggressive move, and there's Idowu to send it out of bounds.
Lamb is one of those wild card guys for Marist. Very athletic, runs the floor well. Not a great shooter, but he can knock down shots. Great job by St. Peter's, not allowing him to get all the way to the cup there.
8 seconds for Marist to operate. And they've taken 4 more shots early on than St. Peter's, but it's the Peacocks with the early 3-point lead. Dozic doesn't see the shot clock, now down to 2. Parker does, and he got it up on the rim, but there's Watson underneath.
Classic, solid St. Peter's defense.
Watson, he's taken all 2 of St. Peter's field goals, and he's got 5 of their 7. Here's big man Sammy Idowu. He'll step out and take the 3, and Idowu's shot rimming out, but he's added that element to his game.
Well, you talk about guys who can make a difference. Sam, he can post you up. He's their legitimate post player, but he'll stretch your defense. He'll knock down that 3 ball.
It's a great backdoor pass and finish. Dozic to Parker.
Parker, once again, near the basket. His frame dictates exactly how he plays. 6'3", 215, strong guard.
I'll tell you what, Brian Parker, we're lucky to get him here because the way he looks, he could have been at the NFL Combine a couple weeks ago.
No question. What do you say, a linebacker? What do you call this guy?
Oh, wow. Maybe
defensive end, a tight
coming
end?
off, yeah, like an edge guy.
You got
right?
it, man.
Outside linebacker.
I wouldn't want him hitting me, I'll tell you that much.
Not at all. I'm happy I got the headset on. Top of the key 3 for Nadefo, kind of took it as an afterthought, and here comes Austin Williams. It's Taylor who draws the assignment of Parker. They swing it all the way around. Lamb going to try one from the corner. And the long rebound comes out to Turner.
Again, St. Peter's very solid on the defensive end. They don't do a lot of pressuring the basketball. Good pressure as far as within the half-court set, denying passes, boxing out, and grabbing a rebound.
And they've gotten 5 early ones from Watson. And here's Taylor. He's got 4 early. So both Idowu and Turner have yet to score in St. Peter's with an early 3-point lead.
Eddie, that's too easy there. He gets a straight look at the basket, late contest. Most players are going to knock that down.
Nice start to this one for St. Peter's. Again, they swept Marist during the regular season, and they have an early 3-point lead. Want to get Parker a touch in the paint, and he's just too strong for the freshman Dallas Watson.
Eddie, he's so good around the basket. Oftentimes their best offenses go right to him in the post. He's probably their best post-up player with his back to the basket.
And Brian Parker is a guard and a big man in a guard's body, rather, listed at 6'3", 215. There's few guards in the league that can physically match up with him.
Actually, there's no guard in the league who can physically match up with him
when
he
a great
goes
point,
to the basket there like that.
Great point as Nadefo foul going to the rim, and he'll have free throws when we come back. An early 9-8 St. Peter's lead, 13:48 to go. Here in our first half, Marist getting started. Brian Parker early on, he's able to finish.
We are St. Peter's University, a place where students who are eager to learn are taught by people who care, on a campus designed for both to thrive. We're proud to offer incredible learning opportunities and life-changing experiences, and that means our students are prepared to succeed in their fields, in their communities, and all over the world. Get to know St. Peter's University, the Jesuit University of New Jersey.
early 9-8 St. Peter's lead in our first round game here on Thursday afternoon at the Times Union Center in Albany, New York. Tremendous start for the Peacocks. They've made 3 of their first 5 from the floor, and so far, Chris, they've gotten 9 points from everyone not named Devontae Turner and Sammy Dowo.
Well, what they've done is spread the basketball around. Obviously, Devontae's going to draw a lot of attention. He understands that. With that being said, passes up some shots, doesn't force feed the action. He's a volume scorer, but his teammates are well aware, taking open shots. They've gotten some really good looks to start this basketball game off.
Yeah, Turner, the senior, is a third-team all-league honoree, averaging just under 17 a game. We got he on one side, Brian Parker on the other side. And Parker has started this game strong with 6 points and had 2 really strong games when these teams played in the regular season. Now, I know St. Peter's won them both, but Parker had 19 in 17 when these teams met in those 2 regular season games.
He has a type of game that's really tough to guard. Earlier we talked about matching up with him. If he goes to the box, there aren't a lot of guards in this league, not many at all, who can contain him. So he understands that, and he plays within his game.
The Defo goes 1 out of 2. St. Peter's will maintain that lead, and they'll pressure up full, trying to speed Marist up in this first round matchup. Get the trap right in the corner. There's actually 3 Peacocks here. See Shaheen Holloway jumping in on that.
Yes, indeed.
By the time they get rolling, now 15 on the shot clock. The Defo gambling on the steal, the 3, back rim, and there's Idowu down low.
Eddie, you made a great point there. Oftentimes when teams press, it's not necessarily always to steal the basketball. Take some time off the clock. Before you look up, the clock is down. You have to take a 4th shot. That time, probably not the shot they wanted to take.
Here's Turner. Now Taylor, who's got 4 in the early going. Dowu going to go to the right hand.
It's great post defense. Took him off the box.
Dozic. It's great defense from Taylor, deflecting the pass intended for Funk. Double team Idowu, and then they run away from it. Here goes the big man to work down low to the right hand again.
That's a great opportunity for Big Sam to throw it back out, repost, get himself lower. Once he puts it on the floor, took himself out of his position.
He's a 54% shooter, but he doesn't take right-handed jump hooks that far away
You
normally.
got it.
Shot clock again inside of 10. Dozic in the high post. Oh, he goes right to the basket, and he gets the roll.
Nice basketball move by Dozic. Again, the play wasn't there. Strong to the cup. Soft right hand off the glass.
Everyone expecting that backdoor pass, and he took it himself.
You got it. When you get in a tournament play, Eddie, everybody knows what you're running. You have to start making plays that counter what the defense is doing.
That's a great point, partner. These teams have, what a take by Nadefo as he's able to untie this one.
Defo showing strength. Earlier, he got himself to the line. You have to have players who want to be aggressive around this time of the year.
And partner, your point, the previous possession, a great one. These teams more times than not have 2 games of film on each other. So, like you said, it's all about how you can adjust off of that.
We know each other like the back of our hands, so you have to counter what you think is going on. So the teams that are usually the most successful, you have 1 or 2 guys who can break things down when the play goes berserk here, like Turner possibly, or you just counter using your good basketball IQ.
Taylor, who's been aggressive, but that's good defense, both Funk and Dozic on the baseline.
Now this young man, Williams, has been playing well for Marist. He can definitely be a wild card also.
Knutson will fire a 3 and put it in.
That's the guy from the Y, Eddie. He's always going to make shots.
David Knutson's going to make that shot till he's about 65 years old, maybe later. You mentioned adjusting this time of year. How about the guy waiting for both of these teams in the quarterfinal round, Tim Kluse and the Iona Gales? That's their game and really his game.
Well, they've done a tremendous job. Great passing there. Big Sam closing it out with the layup. When you talk about Iona, being in the situation they were early in the year and running off that many games and finishing on top, Coach Kluse has a residency for Monday night. He's really going to be there every night, so you have to figure that going into it.
When Iona calls the hotels in Albany, they just know
we'll be there till Monday.
You got it. Taylor, great hustle. It will stay with Marist, but you know the bench, the coach love the hustle from the junior Quinn Taylor. St. Peter's with a 1-point lead, 10-12 to go in our first half. Welcome you back inside the Times Union Center in Albany, New York. An early 1-point St. Peter's lead here against Marist. It's the 8-9 matchup. The Peacocks, the lower seed, the number 9 seed, and they're seeing their rivals to the north for the 55th all-time meeting. This series started back in 1980-81, and it's kind of gone the way of St. Peter's, partner.
Well, St. Peter's has done a really good job, and you have to give a lot of credit to Coach Dunn. He's been a part of a lot of those wins. You can put a positive spin on how both teams have come into this tournament. St. Peter's winning 3 of 4. You want to come in feeling good about yourselves. Marist, again, have lost a couple of tough games, but you like to come in with an edge, a chip on your shoulder, a little bit angry.
Yeah, and if anyone knows about that this time of year, it's the gentleman right in the middle of your screen there. John Dunn, last season, led this St. Peter's team to a win over the top seed Ryder in that quarterfinal round. That was the first time a 9 seed had done that, so he knows a thing or two about upsets this time of year, as the 3 is right on line straight away from Luke Nedrow.
Nice set coming out of the timeout. Nedrow gets an open look at the top of the key, probably one of the easier spots to knock down that 3 ball.
13th 3 of the year for Nedrow, the freshman from Pittsburgh.
And you need that type of performance by a guy or two who you're not expecting to score a lot of points, who can get hot.
Here's Watson from straight away, unable to answer. And Nedrow, being active down low, tips the rebound out.
Great job keeping that alive.
Marist loves to do a lot of their work from beyond the arc, but they'll also go inside when they can. That's able to be saved. Good hustle from Knudsen. As here's Darius Hines, the freshman point guard. Hines, he'll pull up. And he'll put it in silky smooth for the freshman.
Hines with a great decision there, using that screen and roll action over on the left side there. Defender goes underneath the screen. He steps up calmly, knocks down the 3.
Hines has been a revelation for Marist. Late signee for John Dunn, but might have found himself a pretty capable quarterback in the young player from Maryland.
Well, you know what he does so well? He gives Parker the opportunity to go off the basketball, and that's where he can really post up.
There's a scrum as Derek Woods gets tied up by a couple of different Red Foxes, and it will stay on this end of the floor.
And Eddie, I'm not sure if you caught that action. I love what Parker did. Nedrow was trying to help up the St. Peter's player off the floor. He said, nah, we're not going to have any of that during the tournament.
This is winner go-home basketball. You got to look at it. Nedrow there, Parker there, Lamb around as well.
And what I mean by that, not understand exactly his thought process. We can be friends after the game, but during the time period between these lines, we are battling.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I grew up watching 1990s NBA basketball, which was If you didn't get thrown to the ground on a foul, it wasn't really a foul.
Very good defensive effort there. Shot clock violation. Turner has to heave that long three. Right now, Marist starting to get into a good rhythm.
That was Turner's first field goal attempt in this game.
And I agree with you with the 80s reference. I like the Pistons in the 80s. Most people don't remember. Michael Jordan had a tough time with the Pistons. We just remember Jordan winning all these championships.
The Pistons, you could say, helped bring Jordan up that level, right?
You got it.
Nice little run for Marist, a 6-0 run to take this lead. Nedro will try another one. There's Lamb being active down low, and then amongst three Peacocks is fouled on the way up.
Lamb using his bounce there. Turner really trying to keep him off the glass. Couldn't keep him there. He goes back up strong. Turner had the inside position, but that ball goes a little bit further out. Isaiah goes strong, earns himself 2 free throws.
And you see Turner pleading his case, but not only the box out, but that's the difference between Isaiah Lamb being about 6'6", Devontae Turner being about 6 foot.
6'6" with bounce.
So the senior from Baltimore will get another one after he rolls in the first.
And we talked about this off the air. You like seniors playing in the tournament. Win or go home. You know this is all she wrote for them, so they're going to give you a max effort. Oftentimes when you have young guys, they might be thinking about, oh, we'll be good next year. I can wait. There's no waiting here for a guy like Lamb.
Lamb makes the second, makes it 21-14 Marist with 8:01 to go here in the first. Watson started this one hot. He had 5 early on. Get good action down low. Here's Woods, kick out. Dixon over in the wing, 3-pointer for Brown. And Woods able to tip it to himself, but couldn't corral it before it went out of bounds. That'll take us to the media timeout. Marist up a touchdown, 7:41 to go here in the first half from the Times Union Center. (21-14) Marist in front of St. Peter's. 7:41 to go in the first half from Albany. Chris, it's win or go home basketball. We know that there is no tomorrow. When you're a senior leader, like you mentioned,
right,
this is so important to play and win this game.
Well, you have a guy like Devontae Turner, a slower start, hasn't put up a lot of shots, not being aggressive. You often, weigh, should you go strong, should you be aggressive, should you let your teams get involved? In this case here, I'm always of the adage, if you're one of the top guys, you have to come out and be aggressive and allow your team to follow you. There's no tomorrow. With that being said, you don't want to look back and say, I should have come out and been aggressive. So in this case here, when Turner checks back into the game, I like to see him be much more aggressive, get some shots up, be more aggressive off the basketball or with the basketball, and I think that will ignite this St. Peter's team.
Well, he won't be out for long. He was 4th in the league in minutes played this season, played 36 a night, so this is a brief rest, we can be assured.
He's a high-volume shooter. high volume scorer, and he plays a lot of minutes. So you expect him to be aggressive.
You can see he's right next to Shaheen Holloway over there on the bench. So he's as close to the scorer's check-in as he can be, as Hines has to force one up, and there's Idowu down low.
Good defense, making that a tough shot for Hines. But you're so right. Having him right there, that tells me he's most likely going to check in very shortly.
I would try to sit there too, and the coach would say, hey, go to the end. Go to the end. Idowu, what a move.
Great job by Sam. Again, faking that pass there, keeping the handle, going strong to the cup. When you have a big guy like that, usually they don't handle the ball as well, but we talked about him being able to post up, stretch your defense, and put it on the floor for a couple of bounces.
Well, he missed a couple further away. He made sure he wasn't going to miss that one. Dozic, great extra feed down low, and Funk will go to the line.
That play was started because you put Parker in the post. That's where Hines is so good. Takes Parker off the basketball, put him in the post. He's the second pass to get this inside to Funk. He doesn't get an assist, but again, it goes inside to him. He causes a lot of confusion, gets it back out, goes back inside to Funk.
Another one coming for senior Ryan Funk. Dozic has shown in this game a really good ability to find teammates.
He's come in, gave him a really good spark, able to knock down a shot or two. That time with a really good pass inside to Funk. Funk at the free throw line. Good to see one go in. He's the type of guy, he needs to get himself started early. I've liked this young man for the last couple of years. I think he's underchanged himself, and what I mean by that, I think he's much more of a player who could be really good in this league, but he lays back a lot of times. He's not an aggressive guy by nature. For this team to be really successful, I think he needs to take more shots and be aggressive.
That's the same point you referenced at the beginning of the break with Turner in being more aggressive, especially this time of year. Here's Parker, who for so many games was the point guard for this team. Now off the ball. Look at the touchdown low.
Eddie, that's really smart basketball. Takes his time, doesn't settle for a shot in transition, takes a look at the defense, goes right to a spot where he knows he can make the shot, uses that big body. Great run here by Marist.
And Brian Parker and that field goal forcing a St. Peter's timeout as the Marist lead is now 9 points with 6:02 remaining in the first.
Well, you talk about a guy like Knudsen at the YMCA. Look at Parker. He goes straight to where he knows he can score, put you on your hip, turn around, left hook. Come on, that's what you see at the Y at the park all the time. The old guys like myself, they know where they can score, go right to your spot.
And if you got a little bit of muscle or size on someone, you're just not stopping it.
You use it to your advantage. And the funny part about something like that, as a young player, you say, well, Ryan Parker doesn't do too much, but he knows where he can score, and before the day is over, this guy has 20.
I'll take an efficient scorer like that, and he shoots 48% from the field, and the majority of his shots, I bet his shot chart, that painted area would look pretty lit up.
Great job with the trap down here, almost causing the turnover, but you're so right, the key word was efficient.
That Turner rest again was brief. He's back in the game. Off the ball as Dallas Watson will run the show. Marist run, the extended run is 12-2 over the last 4 minutes. Nadefo, a wild take, and he gets it to fall.
Coming out of that spin move, didn't have a lot of balance, but showed nice touch.
Nadefo had a really strong freshman season average, just under 8 a game. St. Peter's, and here's a foul on Idowu. It'll send Funk to the line for 3.
Like to see a second look at that. I thought that was a good block. Thought Sam went straight up and down. Ryan did a really good job selling it. Looks like he caught him on the arm. Good call by the officials. And the officials take so much abuse. I was watching the first couple of games. My goodness, the fans, every single call. So you got to give credit where credit's due when they make a good call.
And we got a great crew here for this first of 3 first-round games. Rob Riley, Ron Tyberski, Andy O'Brien, your gentlemen in stripes for this one.
Wouldn't expect anything less when you're on the call.
Hey, we're all just happy to be here, and we got the great crew in the truck doing a great job, and it's going to be a fun couple of days. Everyone says a long couple of days. I go the other way. This is a fun couple of days.
I'm with you, Eddie O. All fun up here at the MAAC 20.
Those Funk freak throws now make it a 10-point lead, and Marist playing so well here this afternoon. Turner colliding down low with Nedro.
And that's the aggressiveness you need to see from Turner. Get off the bounce. He's crafty with the basketball. Don't necessarily like when he gets in and the defense is set. Want to run him off a lot more screens, put him in action where the defense is moving. Just like that there, we can make that first step.
You know, there might not be a stronger pound-for-pound guy in the league than Devontae Turner. I know he's small in stature, but say that to Nedro and anyone else that Turner's rolled over this year.
Like on that last play.
Shot clock down to 6. Watson, a great ball fake. Able to find Idowu, couldn't find the handle, but then down low to Defo right where he needed to be.
Defo once again just in the right spot, finding the rim, scoring another basket. Austin Dallas getting into that lane, which is a great job. You got to get penetration.
4.5 to go here in the first. Marist an 8-point lead, shooting 47%. Our team shooting 47% each way. Parker blocked. Here comes St. Peter's the other way.
Parker got deep once again, but Sam coming over with that help side defense.
Turner and Parker one-on-one. Nadefo liking the matchup. Watson, the extra pass to Turner. Turner going to get into the paint, return the favor over to Watson from the wing.
Excellent dribble drive action. Turner draws the defense in. Watson gets a wide open 3, leaves that up there. Great shot.
Great first half for freshman Dallas Watson, 8 points. And John Dunn not liking what he saw. He'll step aside after St. Peter's has made 3 in a row and 3:46 to go here in our first. We'll take a timeout.
Sports.com for the latest news, scores, schedules, and much more surrounding the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. The MAAC, excellence in academics and athletics. The MAAC Sideline Store is the official online store of the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference.
Want to do a little Dallas Watson maybe when we come back? Steve,
cool.
can we focus on St. Peter's Watson, number 0? Okay, thanks. He's probably still in the game, I'm assuming. So he's somewhere. Even if you shoot the bench and then find him coming out.
He's still in.
Yeah, better be. After a 12-2 Marist run, St. Peter's has made 3 in a row to make it 28-23. Latter stages of our first half at the Times Union Center in Albany. We've talked veterans, but Chris, it's time we show the young guys some love. How about the start in this one for St. Peter's freshman Dallas Watson?
Good start for Watson. 3 for 4, 2 for 3 from three-point range. That last play, Turner gets deep into that lane. Watson, the beneficiary, able to catch and shoot, leaves that hand. The fish hook down, knocks down the 3 ball, playing with a lot of confidence. He's one of those guys, like I said, during the course of the season, friends with him on Instagram. A number of players in the MAAC I follow on Instagram. Wasn't having the type of season he probably was loving, but again, this is the type of situation when you come into the MAAC tournament, we can change everything very quickly.
I'll tell you, the conversations on the bus from St. Peter's, that's got to be interesting. When you see the high schools that these guys played at, Dallas Watson scored over 1,000 points at St. Ray's in the Bronx. There are some guys who played at some storied New York City programs.
Excellent school, a lot of great history there. Here's another quick fact. Dallas Watson played at St. Raymond's. One of the assistant coaches at St. Raymond's is named Chris Williams. Oftentimes, he and I get mixed up with each other. Unbelievable.
You should take credit for recruiting Dallas Watson.
I'll take credit, especially when he's playing like this.
Exactly. Funk will take a 5-point game, and here comes the aforementioned Watson. Back cut, Turner able to hang and hit.
You talked about pound for pound. The small guy goes deep into the lane, shows his good bounce, hangs, takes some contact, no foul, puts it in off the glass. And that's the aggressiveness I was referring to. The first couple of plays earlier, he didn't score the ball, but he was aggressive getting into the lane. That time, able to score.
Offensive foul. Called will go the other way. It'll go on Luke Nedrow, setting an illegal screen. And now St. Peter's gets it back in the midst of a 7-0 scoring run.
As quickly as Marist had gone out on St. Peter's comes right back with the run. Started with their defense, but being aggressive. Look at Turner, strong to the cup, using his chest there. I like the wall up on defense, but again, the young fella, the senior, strong enough to finish off the glass.
He finished over the rookie, and that was, I'll tell you, the senior showed the young guy something there. As the offensive foul bug now on the other end of the floor, Sammy Dowu pleading his case, but we'll go back the other way with Marist.
Sam will have to take a seat, but they've gotten some good minutes from Woods early on.
So Dowu will sit presumably for the remainder of the half with those 2 fouls. He does have 4 points and 3 rebounds in the early going. Dozic is checked back in. Hines going to go to the pull-up jumper. Couldn't get the roll. And Parker, amongst 3 Peacocks, pulls it away, and he is fouled.
Again, at 6'3", you have your guard Parker going down there, getting a contested rebound. I was never known as a rebounder, Eddie-O, especially contested rebounds. I would get 1 or 2 that would come out towards me, but your guards going down low with the bigs coming up with a big rebound.
The size in the league then must have been amazing, because you're, what, 6'4" or so?
Yeah, I don't play much D or rebound. They weren't in my, my scholarship contract.
Right. Well, everyone else can do that. The points needed to be scored, and there you go.
There you go. That was my role.
Knudsen losing it, but keeping it as now Dozic. Hines tried to throw at weird angle, as now there's another scrum. Parker able to rip it away. They'll call it a jump. It'll stay on this end of the floor.
Hines tried to feed the post from a really tough angle. Again, I can hear a number of coaches in my ear now. Break the angle. Needs to come more over to the right side to get that ball inside.
There's the deflection from Taylor, which ultimately ended up in this jump ball. The Defo trying to guard Parker. Now he'll kick it back to Dozic for 3, and that was smooth for the big man.
Another great job by Parker, all set up by him. Drawing that double team, he gets it outside. One of those points need to be given to him.
Nice first half for Dozic, 5 points, a couple of assists, and we have another offensive foul.
That's a great sell job by Isaiah Lamb. Not a lot of contact. Turner pushed off there, but the official right on top of it.
See Shaheen Holloway not happy with what just transpired, as Marist will look to build on a 6-point lead inside of 2 minutes to go. Lamb will try to fire one, too strong, and there's Ndefo down low.
Like to see Lamb get more into the lane before he starts hoisting the 3-ball.
Taylor to the floater. Another scrum, it comes out to Turner.
Those are the 50-50 balls you have to get if you're Marist.
So now Turner being patient. Able to get a look for Ndefo, who maybe did a little too much. Here comes Hines. Hines to the rim.
Great job by Hines in transition. Again, the defense continued to go backwards. He went strong to the cup there, using his left hand high off the glass.
Hines not the biggest guy, 5'11", 160, but he took on a couple of St. Peter's players. Parker in the passing lane. One-on-one with Watson. And he big boys his way to the rim.
I like that big boy turn there. Again, you knew he was going to go strong to the cup. used the slow Euro, understanding the rookie was there, put his body on him, able to finish with the left hand.
Parker into double figures, and that's now the Marist lead, 35-25. Nadefo in the corner. He'll go right at Parker, and a blocking foul will be called. See if they score the bucket. They'll call the foul on Parker. Now the ball went in. I think they're going to rule it on the floor, and if they do, I don't even think it's 1-1 yet, as that's just the 6th foul on Marist.
Well, Defo would have got the continuation in the league, but he's going strong there. Parker tried to, you don't want to say flop, he wanted to sell that call there. Wasn't there in time.
There were a few things there, right? Parker probably thought he got the charge, and then Nadefo probably thought he got the and one, and neither came true. So now St. Peter's, with the shot clock turned off, has 20 to shoot.
Turner has to work so hard. Marist really doing a great job not allowing him to get clean looks.
Watson the hesitation, and Lamb got him. It'll be 1-1 for Dallas Watson with 7 seconds left.
And that opens it up for Watson. He's crafty off the bounce, using that between the leg dribble to get to the cup.
So Watson's strong first half could continue here late. He's got 8 points. He's made 3 of 4 from the floor, and he'll have 1-1.
And there's a strong possibility Watson will have to do more scoring if they continue to guard Turner the way they are.
So the 6'4 freshman from Brooklyn will have another one. Average just under 7 a game. Both he and Nadefo really picked up the scoring slack when St. Peter's lost Cameron Jones earlier in the year.
And you like his progress because as the season has gone on, he's gotten much better, playing with more confidence, understanding what he can do.
See what Marist can do here in the final 5 seconds. Parker ahead of steam. Again to the Euro. Oh, he puts it in off the window. Brian Parker putting Marist up 10 as we hit halftime.
And that's the way you like your seniors to close out a half, doing exactly what he knows he can do well. Gets in that lane. I don't think he's taking a shot outside of the lane. Going Euro, wrong leg, but he puts it in off the glass with the left.
Smooth. Good. What's that? I got the easy job. I set you up. You're knocking him down. What's up, brother? How are you? All right, Steve, we're here for whatever you got. Okay. What's the, okay, great. Who's the feature on? I can tease it out of this. Who's it on? Right, but who's that feature on so I can tease it? All MAAC first team. Okay, good. So when you give me like a 20-second count out of this first timeout, I'll tease that. We're going to like expand on the bracket here.
Let's do it.
And then I'll throw it to a feature. Then we're going to have like 5-6 minutes or so. Yeah, that'd be great. Or if you give me a time on the clock, I can do that. Whatever's easier. Okay, cool. Yeah, even like just say 30 seconds, and then I'll, Chris he'll close his point, and then I'll do my thing.
And now, please welcome to the floor the Marist cheer and dance team.
Okay, little Whitney. New York Lottery. All right, I think I have that in my thing. I have I Love New York, Pepsi Zero. Where is this? Oh, just say New York Lottery. You got it, brother. Do I get a complimentary couple of scratch offs? Okay. I'll take that. You make it a Kettle One and you got yourself a damn deal. We've reached halftime with Marist in front of St. Peter's 37-27. Partner, I have to expect you to get out there with the Red Fox and show the moves a little bit.
I like it. I'm a two-step guy.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Stay in my lane, right in here.
I love that. I love that. You know your strengths, as this is our first game here in this first of 3 first-round Thursday, presented by New York Lottery. Marist with a 10-point lead, awaiting them, and the winner of this one is Iona. Chris, everyone talked this regular season how wild it was in the MAAC. This is the way it shook out, and it kind of played out like some of us would have thought. This looks pretty much like the preseason poll.
Well, partner, when you take a look at this bracket, every game is a good game. We talked about in the beginning, the 8-9 is usually the best game of any tournament, and I'll stick with that. But that 7-10's a good one. That 6-11's good. And the winners, when they go to the next round, they play some great games. The winner of this game playing Iona, that's a winnable game. 4-5, Ryder Siena. I believe we have that one. That's a doozy because this place will be going bananas. Canisius is sitting there waiting. We don't know what they're going to do. Quinnipiac's been playing well. They lost the last game of the season to Manhattan. So all of these games are really good games. Not sure exactly how it's going to play out. In past years, you would guess that 1 or 2 teams would be in the Final Four, but we have no idea the way this thing looks.
Yeah, the one thing we know is we don't know anything here over the next couple of days. That was your bracket presented by New York Lottery. When we come back from this timeout, we'll give you a closer look at the All-MAAC first team as we keep it moving here at halftime.
earns all MAAC first team honors after earning second team honors as a junior. McGill helped the 46 points are tied for the second most in the league game in MAAC history.
Well, the kids wanted a puppy, but they can be really expensive. So to save money, I just found him a possum.
Dad, I think he's dead.
Probably just plain possum. There he is.
There's an easier way to save. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
And precision, unrelenting power. This trophy is not given, it must be earned. The 2019 NCAA Frozen Four. April 11th and 13th at KeyBank Center in Buffalo.
With a shot. Saved by Marist. Takes the shot.
Visit ncaa.com/Frozen4 and get your tickets today.
Marist with a 10-point lead, 37-27. And Chris, both of our teams shooting fantastic here in the first half.
Both teams really doing a great job getting into a solid rhythm. More so Marist than St. Peter's, but the top guys you have to take a look at who are leading the way. Parker, 12 points in that first half, closing it out with the strong layup, but getting to where he needs to be, where he scores the ball. In St. Peter's, they're doing a great job also.
Watson with 10, Marist up 10. Second half coming up right after this final timeout. Start of the second half, 8-seeded Marist with a 10-point lead over 9th-seeded St. Peter's. Eddie Acapinti with you, along with former Manhattan Jasper and Hall of Famer Chris Williams. And Chris, 10-point lead for Marist in that first half. What are you keeping an eye on here in the second half?
Well, the one thing that I'll circle on the stat sheet for St. Peter's, when you look at Turner, 2 points, 1 for 1. You want him to take more attempts.
They played 19 minutes as well, so out there for a while, but you had Idowu takes 6 shots. Watson and Ndefo each took 4. There's Ndefo right out of the break, able to finish in the paint.
Ndefo being very aggressive, again, going strong to the glass again. You have to be aggressive in this type of basketball game.
He's an unbelievable athlete. He's got springs for days. Parker led the way for Marist with 12 in that first half. He's going to take Ndefo right down to the block. Find Hines. Shot clock down to 5. Schoberg couldn't handle it, and then he fouls Taylor.
And we haven't seen a lot of post play from the bigs in this game. Most of the posting up has come from Parker and Ndefo getting to the glass. But you like to see Big Sam Idowu get himself on track by going to that block area to try to get St. Peter some inside the paint scoring from the block area.
Ndefo in the lane again, and they'll call it a charge. They waited for to see if that ball was going to go in, but we'll go the other way.
Well, you talked about his athleticism. He took off, was in the air for a while. Could have gone either way. Call for the charging violation.
You see Parker was right there out of the restricted.
Great position, you're right. He was out of that restricted area.
Marist up 37-29. This is the 2019 MAAC Championship presented by I Love New York. As Parker getting into the lane, Schoberg blocked by Idowu.
Good block by Big Sam.
Every time Marist gets up by 10, 12 or so, St. Peter's gets a score, gets a block. Maybe a force there. Taylor couldn't find Turner. Here comes Hines down the middle of the floor.
Well, Marist doing a really good job just blanketing Turner, not allowing him to get anything easy.
Funk's 3 short. That was from way downtown. And now here comes Turner. Schoberg fronting Idowu, and he'll take a seat. They'll bring Dozic back in with not even 2 minutes gone by here in the second.
Now, this may sound selfish, Eddie, but in that last situation, you want Turner to be more aggressive in a secondary transition opportunity where he can get to that basket, force feed the action.
Yeah, just about 21 minutes of game action. Again, Devontae Turner's just taking one shot. Here he is. Parker picks him up on the switch. Watson, Idowu to the rim, and that one will be on Funk down low, and free throws coming for Sammy Idowu, who might have rolled the ankle a bit, and he looks a little limpy as he'll go to the line.
It looks like it possibly could be his knee. He does have the large, heavy brace, but that's a good pass by Watson inside. Sam able to go down and scoop it up.
It looked like he and Funk might have collided knees, and you know, Chris, for the life of me, I can never understand whenever players seem to knock knees with another player, one guy gets the worst of it and one guy's okay, and that seems to happen all the time.
It is so painful, Eddie. In most cases, if the tip of your knee hits the side of mine, most likely you're going to come out of it a little bit more painful than most cases. But it can go either way. A guy like me who has terrible knees now, if you tap on one of them, I'm falling down.
I'll keep my distance. I won't get too close.
Sam's knocked down the free throws there. Allows St. Peter's to set up their pressure.
Down to a 6-point game as Parker breaks that pressure. This is an open look for Funk.
And that's the last thing they wanted to do there. In transition, Funk getting a good look, but it's all started because Parker breaks the pressure, gets him a great shot at the basket.
Parker, that's what he did for 3 years in a Marist uniform, was lead the break. There's good action from Idowu, and this one he's able to get in.
Great post up. I love the angle that he was on there, able to use the glass.
Parker back on the ball. He's going to facilitate a bit. Lamb, that's a great hesitation move by Isaiah Lamb.
You called it. Lamb again with the dribble, with the hesitation, gets straight to the cup there off of 2 bounces.
Well, you were talking in the first half. You said he's a guy you look at to maybe step up a bit doing his part there.
And you want him to go to the basket before he starts to hoist the 3-point shots.
Here's Turner now over to Watson. Dozic with the steal. Here comes Hines. 9-point Marist lead. Parker finding Lamb, again cutting to the rim, and there's the defo to take it away.
Great cut, better block.
Lamb had just made his first one, was looking comfortable, and the defo with the block. Lamb underneath. Say, if you think you're open down low against Casey Nadefo, you probably got to think twice.
Nothing easy.
Parker bowling Taylor over, no whistle, and he'll put it in.
Strong move by Parker once again. This guy lives in the lane.
And Shaheen Holloway has seen just enough as he's going to take a timeout as Marist has again stretched that lead. Back to double figures at 11. 44-33 with 15:59 to go here in the second half. Marist has built an 11-point lead early in the second half. And Chris, they've done it on the strength of the guys coming off the bench and contributing.
Again, the others, as a guy named Charles Barkley likes to say, in big games you need them to contribute, but I need to go to Parker. Parker has 14 points, 7 for 10 shooting, no three-pointers, no free throws, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. Everything goes through him. If I'm St. Peter's, Coach Holloway, I want to take the ball out of his hands.
So Parker's got 14, and the bench for Marist has outscored St. Peter's 13-0. So there you go. You have Parker, you got your guys off the bench, and that could be a recipe for a long stay here in Albany for Marist.
When you have a guy like Parker who sets the tone, he makes it so much easier from your bench guys, second unit guys, to come in and feel comfortable.
Watson had it going early for St. Peter's, but they haven't had a whole lot of rhythm on this end of the floor. Nadefo checks the line. And Idowu had it for a second, but it was deflected away. Matt Harazmi from Marist knocked it away.
Again, I'm going to have to make another selfish statement. That's a great pass by Turner to give it to Nadefo in that corner there, but I think he needs to take that shot to get himself on track.
Turner picks up Knudsen on the switch. And Dozic with 5 on the clock tries to find the cutting Funk, and Taylor the last to touch it.
Give St. Peter's credit, still playing solid defense.
This will be a timeout on the floor with 15-11 to go in the second half. Marist just 4 seconds to shoot when we come back, leading by 11. You guys want anything specific or no? Okay. We'll do general stuff. I'm crushing a mint currently. Got the coffee breath. I can't kill my partner.
You good, brother.
Red Foxes up 11, locking down on the defensive end, the John Dunn specialty partner. They've held St. Peter's scoreless for over 2 minutes.
St. Peter's really having a tough time scoring the basketball. I have to go back to Turner. Made the point earlier about him being selfish. When I say that, oftentimes when you're a scorer, a top guy, you have to be selfish to a certain degree. And it's not a bad team for your team all the time. In this case there, it was the 3 that he could have taken. It's the shot he needs to take because it gets him going. When he starts to go, everybody can follow behind him, very similar to what Parker's doing on the other end.
Marist just 3 seconds to shoot. Funk puts in the contested 2.
Funk knocks down that 3 early, was a good shot for him in transition. That time the contested shot was much more easier at that mid-range level.
That's the same point you made with Funk hitting the open one. Then he can hit the contested one. Turner needs to see it go in a couple of times on this end. Watson able to hit it from the corner. He's got 13 points now. He's been the most consistent Peacock on that end of the floor.
I guess Turner said, well, listen, Chris, I'm going to drive to the basket here and get my boy Watson into the game. He knocks down the 3 ball, but it's still him being aggressive, but I like him to take shots.
Marist starting to feel it a bit. They've made 4 of their last 5 as a team. Schoberg gets matched up on the smaller Turner, finding Knudsen, and there's Nadefo again.
Nadefo again cleaning up at the rim, anything close.
What a wonderful athlete. It looks like he jumps and then makes his mind up what he wants to do.
Very light on his feet.
See if St. Peter's can build on the tremendous block. Dowu, some long strides, and he can't finish. He seems to, whenever he catches it, have one or two peacocks right around him.
Well, the game plan obviously is not to allow Big Sam and Turner to take over the ball game.
Hines unable to find it. Here's Nadefo with the rebound, being aggressive. Casey Nadefo losing it right to Taylor, who puts it in and one.
And the great thing about that is in transition, getting into the lane, making things happen, it usually goes in your favor. Much easier to score against a defense that's retreating. He loses the handle, but again, being in the right place at the right time always helps rather than playing against a set defense. Secondary opportunities in transition are always good for teams like St. Peter's.
Take that little ping pong play too. His kick deflected. And Taylor right where he needed to be. He'll go to the line. 76% free throw shooter for the veteran. He'll now sit down in favor of redshirt freshman Manny Dixon.
Dixon was out there briefly in the first half.
Here's Turner and Austin Williams. One of the things keeping the Peacocks in this one, they have all 6 block shots this game has seen. A lot of those from Nadefo. Dozic, Dixon being physical with Funk, as now Williams has to go with 5. He stays on the glass himself, and that's good team defense from St. Peter's.
Solid move by Williams. Lost his footing on the spin move.
After falling behind by 11, St. Peter's on a run, and there's the Turner 3. It's a 9-0 scoring run.
That's what I'm talking about, Eddie. That's a shot he can make. Again, you only need one when you're a scorer like him to get on track.
And then John Dunn will call timeout as St. Peter's has now cut it to 46-42, a 9-0 scoring run. Chris, it has coincided with a Marist scoring drought, and this is playoff basketball, just a 4-point game.
We're talking about an 8-9 matchup. There's not a lot between these two teams, and you need your scores. You need your top players to play up to their level. You want Turner to score. You want Parker to score. That's what makes this matchup what it is.
And really the one guy who's maybe been quiet here in the second half has probably been Brian Parker, who was so assertive in the first half. He hasn't gotten it going, at least throughout the first 7 and change.
Well, you take a look at those last couple of possessions. He was in the post, draws some attention. He threw the ball out. Those are catch and shoots. Williams missed his first opportunity for a 2-pointer that he turned down. Then he takes the tough shot, lost his footing on the spin move. So it's basically almost like a turnover. In transition, St. Peter's comes down. Turner knocks down the 3-ball. They're starting to feel good about themselves.
And they've got that confidence already, knowing that they defeated Marist twice during the season. You buy it all into that? Tough to beat a team 3 times, or not so much?
Well, again, I buy into it, but if I'm one of those teams that has done it already, I'm looking at it, well, we can do it again. On the flip side, you may be under the impression we can't do it again, but both of these teams are so even. It's a couple of plays here or there can turn the tide.
Yeah, it's like you mentioned, that's what you get with the 8-9 game. Dozic backdoor, can't finish.
Excellent set play coming out of that timeout.
Got a wide open look for Alexander Dozic, and he went back rim. Now Turner will go to the line.
And I just mentioned a couple of plays can make the balance go either way. You miss a layup down here, I come back down, get to the line. Most likely Turner's going to make 2. That's a 4-point swing.
Shaheen Holloway looks on, the former point guard watching his point guard start to assert himself here in the second. Ironically enough, the guy on the other sideline recruited Devontae Turner to St. Peter's.
And you know Turner wants to play well in front of his former coach. and he has the first 2 times.
He's had some strong games, a 3rd team all-league honoree. Just under 17 a game, one of the leading scorers in this conference.
And all those good things you just said, the numbers don't dictate that right now. So you want to play to exactly what we're talking about.
He knocks them both down, and this was an 11-point game a couple of minutes ago, and now it's a 2-point game, with 12:15 left.
And the one consistent thing is the St. Peter's defense.
The winner of this one gets top seed Iona on Friday night. They go down low to Parker. And this is contested and a foul.
Made this point earlier. Your best post player is Parker. Go down to him if you need a bucket.
He'll go to the line when we come back. Marist leading 46-44.
Well, the kids wanted a puppy, but they can be really expensive. So to save money, I just found him a possum.
Dad, I think he's dead.
Probably just playing possum. There he is.
There's an easier way to save. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
NCAA college basketball returns to Atlantic City in 2020 when the MAAC teams battle it out in historic Jim Whalen Boardwalk Hall. This destination resort is the perfect backdrop for Division I men's and women's hoops, with excitement and entertainment on and off the court. Whether you come for the day or take advantage of special stay and play packages, Atlantic City's world-class shopping, dining, gaming, and spas await you. Make your plans now for the MAAC Basketball Championships in AC, March 10th through 14th, 2020.
Got a close one here in this first round matchup on Thursday as Marist leads St. Peter's with 11:53 to go in the second half. Brought to you in part by I Love New York. We thank them for their continued support of MAAC basketball. As partner Devontae Turner and company have made this a 2-point game, not even halfway through the second half.
St. Peter's has battled back, sustained that run. Marist has played solid. Each team has played good basketball. Again, it's a couple plays here or there that can tilt this basketball game, but you want to try your best to avoid the disaster plays, and that's so important in tournament play.
It always seems like it's the big run,
right,
the big three that really sway momentum in tournament games, and so far, St. Peter's has battled to almost even this up. This game doesn't have that moment yet.
Well, a game of basketball is about runs. Each team is going to make a run. As Parker misses that first free throw, you have to understand that's just part of what's going to happen. Sustaining the run and not allowing it to put you in the tank. I love the way St. Peter's has battled back each time. And then on the flip side, Marist understands when they come back, we'll make another run.
Yeah, that's been the MO in this game. Marist will get a lead, 2-3 possession lead. They led by a double figure just a few minutes ago, and then St. Peter's will battle back. The difference now is that Turner really starting to feel it. Now he goes to work again.
Turner on the spin cycle. There you go, young man. Get to the basket. Put the pressure on the defense.
He's got 8 points.
And he comes up with the steal.
And the steal. The rip, the finish, and St. Peter's leads.
Classic basketball. When you score a couple of buckets, your defensive intensity picks up, comes up with the pickpocket, gets them an easy layup.
Well, Turner only took one shot in the first 21 minutes of this game, and he is absolutely asserting himself here in the second.
You want your stars to be stars.
Back the other way, Parker will earn the foul call.
Parker is so strong going to the basket, Eddie. And he plays at a really good pace. Great pick with the left hand, goes right to the right there, lays it off the glass.
Turner now into double figures. He's got 11 in the game, 9 here in the second half. And now Marist finds itself trailing by a point. Taylor with a big block. Parker being strong with a chance for a three-point play and a technical foul on Brian Parker.
You knew that was coming. The official just a little bit earlier had told Parker to tone it down. Strong move. Again, you can understand why he wanted to bark a little bit, but you can't do it right after the official tells you not to. Deep into that post right there. It's pretty much nothing you can do when he gets you right there. Strong body, puts it right in your chest, barks a little. And the official had no other choice but to give it to him because he wants to keep the game clean.
Well, it looked like a little bit more than just a flex. It was a flex with some words, and that's ultimately what earned Brian Parker
Maybe
that
he was
technical.
Discussing where they wanted to go out later on tonight after the game.
Post-game dinner plans are important.
You got it.
So Parker will have a free throw, but first Turner will shoot the technicals.
And check this out. This allows Turner to get to the free throw line, see the ball go through the basket 2 more times.
And that's exactly what he does. And now we'll go down the other end of the floor. So Parker had made the bucket. He's got 1 free throw coming, which after all that, and he makes it, could give us a tie game with 10:52 left.
And you take a look at Turner's stat line is starting to increase. He's at 11 points right now.
Yeah, the two guys we highlighted talking in the open and we referenced from the beginning, both the all-league honorees, Turner and Parker. And there's the free throw to tie the game at 50. So after all that, double-figure lead by Marist. Some St. Peter's runs. Now, partner, it's a brand-new game with 10:45 to go.
We have a good one.
Turner, you can see he's got a bit more pep in his step. But he finds Taylor instead, and Taylor's going to go to the basket.
Again, Parker right now just has to leave the officials alone.
Hines guarded by Watson. Gets the Funk open look for 3. It's front rim.
Makeable shot by Funk. Came up short.
Midway point, second half. All square at 50. Marist putting the bigger defender, Harasmi, on Turner. Dixon's turnaround falls.
Big shot by Dixon. You make a great point, denying that basketball from Turner, so other players have to step up.
Parker was just boxing out Taylor, who will get called for the foul.
This guy is so tough in the post, but you see the position he gets. He locates himself right in the lane. Most big guys don't post up that low. Right in the paint. Not on the box, but in the paint.
He had both feet in the painted area. You mentioned it. He gets himself in great position down low. Parker's being aggressive, but a bit too much dribbling here, and he'll turn it over.
Good help side defense. He went right into an area where there were 2 defenders. Nothing he could do.
So now St. Peter's with a chance to add to their lead. They've made 5 of their last 6 here on their run to take a 52-50 advantage. Watson really carried him early, hit a big 3 as well later. He's got 13. It matches the total Turner has. Double team goes away from Turner. Taylor sets the feet.
Everything was on the perimeter on that possession. You want to try to get that ball in the lane.
Parker posting up, baseline, extra pass. Funk fires a 3.
Great look. Ball gets into the paint area via Parker. That second pass, that's a shot Funk has to knock down.
And the first time, I think, in this game, we've seen a couple of tired possessions in a row there with St. Peter's up 2. Oh, and an offensive foul called as Idowu got just a piece of Isaiah Lamb, and he'll get whistled for the foul.
Well, it's great that you bring up tired possession. The game has slowed down. You notice you have to run better offense, set good screens, come off tight, look for open people, because those jump shots become much more difficult as that clock goes down.
So that little tap there on that stick out will be Idowu's third foul. Marist struggling, one of their last 8. Who are they going to go to for offense? Parker taking a breather. It's a turnover. Taylor in the passing lane ahead of the pack.
You called it, partner. That was a big possession with Parker on the bench. How would they respond?
So Parker sits down, and instantly St. Peter's turning defense to offense. Quinn Taylor giving the Peacocks a 54-50 lead. Well, St. Peter's with a 4-point lead over Marist. Not too much dancing on the Red Foxes bench the last couple of possessions, Chris. They're 1 for their last 8, and they need to get it rolling again as the Peacocks have jumped in front.
Well, it's tough for them to score the ball without Parker on the floor. That last possession was big. You called it right before the turnover occurred. How will they produce without him in the basketball game? They turn the ball over, so they need to get back on track. If he's going to post up, get that ball inside, off that swing, be ready to shoot and knock the shots down, shoot them with confidence.
Partner, I thought you made a great point, too. We mentioned how a couple of possessions in a row these teams were taking what looked like some tired shots. That's when, and then add in your best player on the bench, you really got to execute and dig down a little bit deeper.
And that's the importance of being able to get into the lane. When you get into the lane or you can post up, it slows the game down. You're not worrying about taking a tired shot. You're taking a high percentage shot where you're either going to make it or get fouled when you're in the lane area.
Parker not in for this possession. He will check in next chance. Shot clock down to 10. It's Dozic top of the key. Going to hand off to Hines. One-on-one with Turner, the contested 2.
Another tough possession, everything on the perimeter.
St. Peter's locking down on one end, trying to continue being efficient on this end. Turner running around screens.
Great flash out by Lamb.
And Dozic doing a nice job on the switch to knock it out of bounds. That will get Parker back in, and he'll be called upon to snap a 1-for-9 shooting slump that Marist has been in the last couple of minutes. It's a big 4 seconds here. See if Turner can get a somewhat clean look inside of 7. They'll go Idowu. Dixon, huge shot for Manny Dixon.
Very good look there. Idowu showing patience. Dixon raises right up, knocks down the three. He's giving them good minutes in that first half, knocked down some shots here in the second.
Yeah, all 5 of his points have been huge. Parker able to get to that strong hand and make it 57-52.
He's a tough customer. Goes straight to the post where he knows he can work, show extreme amount of patience. Most players panic, but he goes right back to his left hand, goes up strong off the glass.
And Taylor gave the look like, I played him to that hand. What more can I do? And Parker just stayed with it.
All strength.
Lamb watches Turner, and a reach in will be called on Isaiah Lamb. It'll be the 6th Marist foul.
Tough matchup for Lamb. When you leave him on an island with Turner there, most likely he's going to get to the basket. Kind of reminds me of a Mama's player used to cover who could put you on that island. He'll go on you real quick. What is that young man's name? He's doing a great job overseas.
Yeah, he's doing quite well overseas. Justin Robinson made quite the name for himself doing just that, and for 4 years for King Rice and Monmouth. Again, Lamb finds himself on that island. Turner using the strength, but it was deflected on the way up.
Lamb doing a great job recovering, using his length.
Hines, the Red Sea parts for him, but he can't finish. He almost went coast to coast, but wasn't able to get a clean look at the tail end.
Good rebound by Dixon. You love when your freshman can come in and give you good minutes off the bench.
And not afraid to take big shots either. Turner and Idowu two-man game. Shot clock down to 3. There's Dixon, and took a couple too many steps.
And that's a play Dixon will make by the time he's a junior or a senior. His frame's not ready for that just yet. Catches that basketball. Parker right there, unable to sustain that contact.
Five-point game at the 5-minute mark. A good one here in our first of 3 men's games on Thursday afternoon in the MAAC tournament. Dozic stepping out.
Big shot. We talk about that supporting cast. Those are the shots you're looking for. Dozic knocks down that 3, steps up with the confidence. Now, Eddie, the threes you made in the first half aren't the same in the second half when it's under 4 minutes.
Oh, yeah, we are in crunch time. Win or go home basketball. Watson. Oh, the great pass to Taylor, and he'll go to the line.
Watson looking like he was at St. Ray's on that move. Off the bounce, getting deep into the lane. Great hesitation between the legs. Good pass. Nice ditch. Again, avoiding the charge, which is big there.
Able to draw the D and find his teammate Taylor, who will now shoot 2.
Taylor's been really solid here, Eddie.
Well, they've been so good from the line. That's their first miss here in the second half. Both teams shooting very well from the free throw line. Oh, and Taylor with an empty trip.
He draws the assignment of Parker.
They find Parker. Now Dozic, who just made one. He's going to go to the basket and one.
Pretty move by Dozic, going strong to the cup, but it's all set up by who? Parker in that post area. Double team comes. He gets it out in time. Again, you have to finish that to help him out.
The diagonal drive, you mentioned, started with the Parker pass, hitting a 3 a couple possessions before this time, showing the strength.
And he didn't settle for the 3 that time.
Great minutes for Alexander Dozic, and now Marist back in front.
And what that does also, now Dozic has confidence going to close out the ball game. So if he gets another shot opportunity, he'll feel more entitled that he can take it.
Oh yeah, his confidence sky high right now. A whistle down low, and Idowu will pick up his 4th foul as he was battling Dozic down low.
Big play.
huge couple of possessions to sway the momentum back in favor of Marist as they lead 58-57 as we've reached the final media timeout here in the second half. We're magnets for good games. Whenever we sit down, we're getting a good one. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. Thank you. Who do you think, did St. Peter's do anything against Iona this year? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No, they lost to, they only played them once.
At their place or at Iona?
It was at Iona.
Okay. Yeah, they're definitely not going to beat them there.
So Marist will give, the Marist-Iona game would be, you think, a much better game.
I would think so. They beat them one time, right?
Right, yeah, they split. Like, up or down? Oh, thanks, man. Thank you. What time is that? I lose track of time these days.
6:41.
It's not so bad.
Nah.
It's a 1-point Marist lead, 58-57, an 8-0 Red Foxes run, partner, over the last 2.5, and it's been keyed by Alexander Dosic.
Dosic has been the beneficiary of the post-up of Parker. Parker has 20 points, but again, when you're the key guy, which raises your level of play, is when you can get everyone else around you to feel good about what they're doing. You get in that post area, the double team comes, he gets it out. Dosic knocks down the three initially. The next time, double team comes, get it out. Let me get into the lane here. Goes into the lane. Strong finish. Contact, goes to the free throw line. Now going forward, this guy feels, listen, if I get the basketball, I understand I can score, and Parker will give it up.
He's the third Red Fox in double figures, joining Parker and Ryan Funk.
We talked about what Hines does for Marist. He takes Parker off the basketball. In past years, Parker has to bring it down. He has to go to the post. Now he can just focus on being off the basketball.
Dosic can't knock this one down, and there's Nadefo down low in a 1-point game.
But he did have the confidence to take that shot. It was a good look for him.
It was right on line. As Turner will now throw to Woods. Idowu out with 4 fouls. Watson able to dribble all the way around and roll one in to give St. Peter's back the lead.
Strong move by Watson. I thought he may have shuffled the feet. Got deep into that lane. Nice floater.
Coming up on the 3-minute mark. St. Peter's with the 59-58 lead. Parker too strong down low. Nadefo will be called for the foul.
It's unbelievable, Eddie, how Parker gets you on his back that deep.
On Nadefo, especially upset because that's his 5th foul, and he had words on the way out.
Again, when you match up the two players' frames, there's no way Nadefo can get around Parker once he gets him that low. And again, if you watch Nadefo as he's going over to the bench, he's motioning to his coach. He's holding me, but it's not that he's holding you. His frame holds you once you get that deep into the post area.
Yeah, the difference is that Brian Parker is a senior, thickly built, and that Nadefo is more of a slender freshman. So add all that together, and it's going to be frustrating, especially when you're an athlete the caliber of Casey Nadefo.
And again, as he sits down, he shows his frustration. You're right about that. By the time he's a junior or senior, he'll be able to get around a player like Parker if that may be the case.
A big free throw miss for Parker, and it's still a 1-point St. Peter's lead.
Huge miss. Under 3 minutes, I call this winning time.
It's really the one part of Parker's game that's not up there. He's only a 60% free throw shooter. Turner, oh, what a move, and he puts it in.
Big time move, big time shot, showing the strength to keep the ball and go up strong and knock down the three.
And now St. Peter's up 4. And Taylor is battling down low with Parker. Can Funk answer? He can!
We got a shootout. Funk with the answer at the top of the key. Ryan Funk.
Now we got a finish on our hands. This is just the first of 3 of these here this evening, as the timeout on the floor happens with St. Peter's leading 62-61 after Turner and Funk trade threes.
Both guys taking tough shots, particularly Turner. Good defense on him. Uses a step back tight move. Defender goes down. He goes up strong, knocks down that 3 ball. Hines goes down, clears that space. He pulls up, knocks that down. Everybody gets excited. But I love the way Marist comes right back at him. A good play they set up. We didn't quite see it, but Funk comes off the screen, knocks down the 3 at the top of the key.
The big shots on both ends of this floor, as Turner has really come on. 2 points in the first half. He's got 14 here in the second, and he has his team up by 1.
This is all I was asking for, Eddie. Was I being selfish saying I just wanted Turner to shoot the ball and score?
You were not. You were not. You were asking a third-team All-MAAC guy to be aggressive.
That's it.
Watson throwing down low to Woods, and he'll go to the line. Good St. Peter's ball movement.
Excellent play coming out the timeout. I love when coaches call good sets and you get the ball inside. In that case there, Woods posting up strong, no answer for him. Inside to him, able to turn. Funk right there. Got a lot of ball, but some arm also.
So a couple of free throws for Derek Woods, who is a 71% free throw shooter.
Nice lefty stroke. You know I'm partial to the lefties. There's 2 things Woods has going in his favor right now. He's a lefty and he's wearing number 20.
Oh, wow.
If his last name was Williams, might be my cousin.
Another one coming for Woods. 2-point game at the 2-minute mark. And the ball in the hands of Marist number 2, Brian Parker, who explodes to the rim and will go to the line.
Parker showing some bounce there. Love the interaction between he and Turner. Turner goes right over to him. Parker tells him it's all love, everything's okay.
Well, Parker this time, Chris, exploding to the basket.
Miscommunication on the defensive end. There's no way you don't pick up Parker earlier than that. He has a free driving lane to his left hand, which is his strong lane. I would have loved to see if Parker would have punched that. I don't know if I've seen him dunk one. Think he got bounced like that?
I didn't think he had that in him. I know I've seen him dunk, but not, half-court explosion kind of play.
His intentions were to dunk it looked like.
I love that. I love that. Not only the 2 points you get, but the really emotion you get from doing that.
That's it, Eddie. I
right?
love you brought that up. It's the emotion. It's the spark you give your team, the spark your fans also. Again, miscommunications, nowhere there shouldn't be help there. Wasn't close, but that's a good hard foul by Turner.
And they went to the monitor, and it was just a common foul. That's, I'm going to call that's a tournament foul right there. Turner went in, did make a play on the ball, but not afraid to throw his body around as well.
That is a tournament foul.
You talked to Pistons earlier. I grew up idolizing the 90s Knicks, so I'm right with you.
Well, they would foul you on 2 or 3 times going up on 1 possession.
Right.
Oakley would get you first, and then someone else would come and get you on the second one. Most likely it was Mason.
Yeah, and then if you get to the 3rd level, there's Patrick Ewing, so good luck.
Big free throw for Parker, knocks that down.
That one made it a 1-point game. Parker up to 21. The second one for the senior could tie it up. 63 all inside of 2 minutes to go here in the second half.
St. Peter's has been doing a really good job in their offensive sets. Let's see if they run something good here.
Well, Turner's been the man here in the second half, really all season for St. Peter's. Taylor finds Turner, guarded by Lamb. Between the legs, he's going to kick it out. Taylor can't get it to fall.
Strong move by Taylor, got all the way to the front of the rim there.
Taylor jumps in front of Parker, and there's an offensive foul. What a defensive play by Quinn Taylor.
Taylor doing a fantastic job there, moving his feet. Close call, but he gets the benefit of the doubt.
Well, you see, look, Chris, he's playing Parker to that left hand. And
again, watching the replay, I think that's definitely a block. But when you're a good defensive team, a lot of times you will get that call for yourself.
Well, that, and when you guess the correct direction, right, even if you're maybe half a step behind, you seem to get it more than not.
And he put his body out in front. He was able to sell it.
Taylor just drew the charge. Tees up a three.
Good shot. Got the ball inside to Big Sam. He drew the double team. Those are the shots you want. But as I said earlier, those threes are much more difficult when you get closer to the end of the ball game.
Inside of a minute in a tie game. Parker's got 22. Going to use the screen. Tries to find Funk back door, and he threw it away.
Tough pass, and he took a chance there.
St. Peter's, credit them defensively. They kind of had both sides of that option play, the handoff and the back cut covered.
And what they did so well is they put Parker in a position where he went off the bounce. He couldn't post up where he was coming off a screen or something.
We've seen huge shots all second half. The next one or the next two would be the biggest. 30 seconds left in a tie game. Who's going to advance to take on Iona on Friday night? Turner turning the corner, exploding, but can't finish.
Turner with a great job getting around Lamb initially, but that help side defense was right there.
John Dunn's going to let him play with 8 seconds left. Parker in a tie game, going to go to the right hand this time. He goes up, he's blocked, and the ball's out of bounds. Where are they going to say it goes? They're going to go to the monitor with 1.8 seconds left.
Another great job by Quinn Taylor walling up. I thought that was a solid block, but I don't like Parker taking it off the bounce. Eddie, get that ball in someone else's hands. Get to the box.
Yeah, let's see, partner. They're over there seeing who it went out of bounds off of. And I'm with you. I love Parker in the post. Let's see. I just think when there's two St. Peter's players and one Marist player, it's probably got to stay on this end of the floor. Really difficult to see who it was last touched off of.
Yeah, you can't really tell from that angle there. The defense was solid. When that ball goes down, does it go off of Parker when he's on the floor?
I think you're right, too, as we'll take another look. This from the trail angle. And there's there is contact on the ball. It really should have been a jump ball, I guess, if you want to play that game.
Doesn't look like it touches Parker, but I understand exactly what Parker's trying to do. He's trying to get into the lane area, draw contact, make that official make a call, but the defense is solid here. Taylor comes over. Sam is on the follow also.
I think it might have been Idowu who touched it last.
I think it stays here.
Yeah, I think you're right. Now, but I think the point you were making before we started running these replays is the right one, that Parker's been his most dangerous, catching it foul line and in.
Again, if you want to play the advocate role here, quite possibly Marist is thinking if we don't allow Brian Parker to keep it off the bounce, he may not be able to get it back.
Right.
But I like him on that box on a strong post-up going forward.
Well, I do too, and they've run it to the correct side of the floor when he's turning baseline side. He's not turning towards the middle. So they're still over at the monitor checking. I mean, you saw the replays, everyone. It's going to be very difficult to tell. And, partner, I think the hardest thing is I didn't see a call made on the floor.
Right.
They immediately went to the monitor. So you spin this forward, you say, well, just go with the original call. Well, there was no original call.
Great point. And when we look at the monitor from what we're watching, that ball went out did not touch Parker, so it should stay here for Marist. And if you're Marist, you're looking for a quick hitter play. You have enough time where you can get the ball in, fake a shot, take a dribble, and score. 1.8.
Well, they just gave the ball to St. Peter's. So now they'll have to go the length of the floor unless they elect to take a timeout with 1.8 left. And this game appears earmarked for overtime. John Dunn's going to get in some bigger players. He pulls Hines off. He brings in Nedrow. Well, now if this game ends here, it would be a miracle finish. Taylor's got a timeout. He uses it with 1.8 left.
Again, with 1.8, you have enough time to catch, put it on the floor at least 2 times, and get a shot in. I thought Taylor missed his first opportunity to get that ball to Turner crossing over. You want to get it to someone on the run. That's probably your best bet.
Yeah, if you're the offensive team, you want that, right? And then if you're the defensive team, your goal is make them catch it going away.
In these cases here, it's probably so much more difficult being a defender because you don't want to foul. You want to keep everything in front of you.
And to look at it, a foul anywhere on the floor from Marist would result in 2 St. Peter's free throws. So if that happens, you don't have that uneasiness of a 1-and-1. You know that you got 2 coming your way.
In amateur sports, this is the scariest situation around if you're a coach, because you want to make sure everybody's on the same page. You don't want anybody getting in the wrong position.
Right.
So that's why these timeouts are crucial, so everybody understands what they need to do, either the offensive or defensive end.
Well, coming out of this final timeout for St. Peter's, they'll be out of timeouts, inbounding with 1.8 left.
And I bring that reference up because if you watch professional sports at the NBA level, you look at 1.8, that's an eternity.
All right. And you can advance the ball.
Got it.
Absolutely. So let's see what Shaheen Holloway drew up here with 1.8 left. There's the look to Turner. He's going to get one off. It's good if it goes. And we are headed to overtime. It's fitting in an 8-9 game, back and forth, that we are going to extra basketball, 63 all, with Iona awaiting either Marist or St. Peter's tomorrow.
Well, partner, what do you expect? Anytime you and I link up, we get a good game. We deserve extra basketball.
I think we all do, and you called it. Whenever we are seated courtside with headphones on, we're getting a good one. Let's come back, and when we bring you back, we'll have overtime between Marist and St. Peter's. $40 minutes, not enough to decide our first round game here on Thursday between Marist and St. Peter's. So we go to extra time, partner, 63 all. And we first have to look at Brian Parker leading this game with 22 points. Couldn't finish late, but he did everything for Marist during this game.
Well, again, Brian Parker has done exactly what we thought he would do. He's lived in the lane. He showed us a number of good post-up moves, and the team feeds off him. Earlier, I talked about certain possessions which can be big. And again, he's been big on all possessions. Turner, a slow start. I thought he was trying to allow the game to come to him, but he started knocking down shots, putting the pressure on that Marist defense, got his basketball team right back in it. Good spin move getting into the lane. When you want your stars to perform, Turner stepped up to the plate.
We have overtime in the MAAC tournament for the first time since the 2017 championship game. Fitting that the team that won that game, and Iona is awaiting the winner of this one on Friday night. But we've got a few more minutes to decide who's going to play the Gales.
We have 5 extra minutes. We call this bonus basketball, a.k.a. overtime.
And I'm going to keep your winning time theory and motto. That happens all the way through overtime, right?
All the way through overtime, but again, under 3,
yep,
things get a little tight for certain players, so I like to see the reactions around that time period.
We're going to have to potentially redo this one. Schoberg tapped it back, and he tapped it to Idowu, so we may jump this one up again.
Great job by the officials. They need to jump that one over, I believe.
Well, no, they're actually going to go. Going to give Marist the basketball here.
Well, that substitution worked out properly for Coach Dunn. Schoberg was just in for the tip. Marist gets the basketball, and he goes right out.
And Dozic comes in. Strong game. He's got 11. He's made some huge shots in the second half. So let's see how both teams react in overtime. Parker, again, going to initiate and get into the lane, but he can't finish.
Nice soft touch. Too much English on it.
And there's really been a shift these last, Chris, I'd say maybe the last 6 or 7 minutes of regulation where Parker went from the block to then initiating up front, and it's coincided with St. Peter's kind of getting back in this one and then ultimately forcing overtime.
Again, it takes something out of you also posting up so much. It tires you down, again, wearing on you. Lamb just fouled out trying to guard Turner.
Big foul out. Isaiah Lamb can make big shots, but he is a long defender for Marist. So he'll be done, and potentially done in his final collegiate game, as the senior from Baltimore will now have to leave it to his teammates for the final 4:21.
And he's a senior. You want seniors on the floor at the end of basketball games, especially in the tournament.
So now each team has fouled one guy out. Casey Nadefo fouled out for St. Peter's a while ago, and now Lamb will sit down. And
both guys bring something very similar to their teams, their athleticism, and those type of plays where they feed off their quality star guy.
Your foreshadowing has been on point. You're mid-season form right now because you mentioned star. As soon as Devontae Turner popped up, and his huge second half set this game up to be tied, and now he'll shoot to give St. Peter's the first lead in overtime.
And you've noticed Turner's numbers have gone up. He's been much more aggressive here in the second half.
He had 2 points at halftime, and he now has 18, and St. Peter's is up 2.
Let's see if they can get the ball to Parker in a scoring position.
Catches it with his back to the basket, outside of the foul line. And now Turner picks him up on a switch. It's Funk who will step into a 3, and a huge 3 for Ryan Funk.
Great knockdown by Funk, but once again, Parker is the catalyst. He sets the solid screen. Do you go over the screen and go to Funk, or you let Parker get into that post position?
Turner will give it over to Dixon. He's going to go to the pull-up jumper, and Manny Dixon has made 3 really big shots here in this game.
That's a big-time move, partner. Off the bounce, mid-range, pulls up, knocks it down.
Similar set to the last time with Parker catching left elbow.
St. Peter's doing a great job defending that play the second time.
Funk just made the 3. Can't finish with the left.
And that's the finish you want from Funk. Again, with his frame and athleticism, he has to go in there a little bit stronger.
Idowu's in with 4. He's calling for it. Watson will go. 8 on the shot clock. Uses the screen. Idowu will pop out. Huge offensive rebound. More St. Peter's offensive opportunity, partner, with 2:40 left.
Taylor has made a lot of the little plays in this game that don't possibly come up on a stat sheet.
Idowu's going to give it back to Devontae Turner. Guarded by the freshman Harasby to the crossover. Dixon will try another one.
Good move by Turner to get Dixon that open shot. Looks like that was a little bit further out of his range. Came up short.
2 minutes to go. They find Funk backdoor and Marist back in front.
Beautiful pass by Parker. Excellent cut by Funk. He dunks it home.
Teams trading buckets here. Who's going to make the big play? They knocked it away. Here's Idowu facing the double team, and he lost it out of bounds.
And that was planned. As soon as Idowu gets that basketball in the post, Parker rushes him before he could even look.
Minute 41 to go. Marist up 1, 68-67. Now they're going to look at this and go to the monitor. So they initially, I think, called it the other way, but now let's see. Now it looked as though, partner, did it go off Sammy Idowu's foot or did it go off of Parker's foot?
Well, right now I'm 0 for 2. Taking a look at it, I thought that went off of Sam, right?
That's what I thought too, but I even hesitate to venture a guess. And
oh, no, that went off of Parker's toe.
There it is. Let's see. They're going to see Idowu again. Now they're lining up to give it. Let's see. Parker's going to come from the middle. Oh.
Right?
I didn't see if it hit Sam Idowu's hand on the way out, but I do know it hit that red sneaker that Parker has.
Don't let me go 0 for 3, people.
Well, they're going to, I think they're even going to take a closer look. So they'll take one more look, and if we could be so needy as to request one more look as well, because now we've determined it did look like it was Parker's foot, but now did Sammy Idowu touch it on that way back up? That's the thing that I would have to keep an eye on.
You're throwing too much in it now, Eddie.
I know, I'm sorry.
That ball went off of Parker's toe.
All right, Chris, here we go. So you're going to see Parker's foot come over, and because he has the red sneakers on, you can see it clearly. Ready? So there's the dribble. It goes off Parker's foot there, and then does Idowu touch it?
Doesn't look like Sam
Doesn't look
that
like
on the way going out. I think that stays with St. Peter's.
But like you said, that's why we just sit here, put on headsets, and talk about things we see on a monitor. So watch Parker run over.
A double team comes over quickly. Doesn't give him a real chance to make a good decision.
Yeah, there's the kick, and then you have to determine if right there Sammy Idowu's hand touches the ball, which thankfully is not up to us because I can't tell.
Yeah, that's tough.
It really is amazing in this era of instant replay and how each play can be dissected like this. We've looked at this 15 times, and I can't give you a definitive
when you look
answer.
at it closely, Sam could easily be called for a traveling violation also. And that's a totally different point.
Yeah, this is, we've seen it now with the officials have rotated around, and now they're all looking at it. They'll come to a consensus.
Make a decision.
Well, there's 2 games after this, so.
Ball belongs to St. Peter's. We have 1:41 to go. Let's play ball.
Well, here's my question. If you get to a point where you can't really determine where it goes, at what point do you go to the jump ball arrow? Or like you said, you just make a call and then you go with it.
Well, again, you have some evidence here that shows the ball went off of Parker's foot. You can't tell if it went off of Sam's hand after that. It shows you right there.
Yeah, the ball doesn't change its trajectory. You can't really tell. And I think every game has so many plays where you could do this, and you could really look at it every different angle. Eventually, it all kind of works out, right? Doesn't it seem to do that more times than not?
It usually does. It usually does. But if you're on that wrong end,
oh, sure,
you're going to be unhappy.
Right, especially in a tournament setting. Maybe they just wanted more me and you for a couple minutes.
I think they like us over here.
So they're over checking it out. This game was tied 63-all after regulation. And Marist has taken that 1-point lead with 1:41 left. Winner gets Iona tomorrow, the regular season champion Gales. That game is scheduled for tomorrow evening. Chris and I will be back for that one. 2 games after this, Manhattan Fairfield right after us, and then Monmouth and Niagara in the nightcap.
Both good games.
I feel very confident saying both of those, 50-50, no doubt. Here comes our officiating crew. So I'm not sure if you could hear Ron Tyberski in my headphones, but they, partner, ruled what we saw is that Brian Parker's foot's the last to touch
Well,
it.
I think we're looking at the same monitors. Ball went off for Parker's toe, and it came straight to you, buddy. The authoritative figure over here.
They just are more comfortable talking to me. You're intimidating. I don't know if you know that. Turner, the step back was partially blocked. And after all of that review, Marist stands on the defensive end, and they'll get it back.
Very good defense. Turner goes to that step back. Matt with the hand right in his face, using his length at 6'3".
Now the onus defensively falls on the Peacocks with Marist up 1. Parker keeps the ball, keeps it alive, throws it up, can't finish. St. Peter's gets the stop it needs.
Parker force-feeding the action there, probing, trying to just find the area where he could get a little daylight.
Inside of a minute here in the first overtime. Turner being active the entire possession, dribbled it off of a few different players. It was deflected, and the tie-up will keep it on this end of the floor.
St. Peter's very fortunate to keep the possession. Solid defense. Again, the help side right there, not allowing Turner to get deep into that lane. He goes between the legs the opposite way. Matt right there once again, quiet as kept. He's doing a solid job on Turner.
His length has really been a factor in this game. Taylor spinning, finishing, and he'll go to the line.
Taylor giving Parker a little bit of his own medicine, coming off that screen, finding himself deep into the lane. He spins, goes up strong with the finish.
And the bigger play on that is it's the 5th foul on Marist's Brian Parker.
That is huge. Earlier in the second half, Marist struggled scoring the basketball without Parker on the floor.
So he and his game-high 22 points foul out. So 2 seniors have now fouled out for Marist, and Quinn Taylor with a chance to increase the St. Peter's lead.
Big miss at the free throw line.
So where does Marist go? Down 1. Funk's got 18. Dozic has 11. Funk will try a 3. Harass me. More good hustle. 16 seconds left. Marist down 1. Knudsen now 10. And a timeout called with 8.9 seconds left.
Excellent timeout. Right now, Marist doesn't have anyone on the floor who can go off the bounce and create. You need to call a set play where someone can come off an open shot. You notice Funk, when he had just a little bit of daylight, he pulled up for the shot. Wasn't confident enough to go off the bounce. I'm looking for Coach Dunn to call something really good to get Funk a shot.
There is that Funk 3 that was missed, and then really Harass Me, the freshman, has been really pesky in this game, winning 50-50 balls, and at this point, without too much going on, John Dunn said, that's enough. We got to talk about this.
Erasmi has made some quality plays. We talked about him on the defensive end using his length on Turner. Comes up with that big rebound. I've always said in this league, if you're about 6'3 to 6'6", you're always beneficial on the floor because you can usually put the ball on the floor, score it, shoot it, and defend. And a lot of times, once in a while, you can go to the glass and be big rebounding.
St. Peter's a 1-point lead. This was 63 apiece after regulation. And without Brian Parker on the floor, where does Marist go with 8.9 left?
You got to go to Funk. I think they should run something for Funk. If you're on the opposite side in St. Peter's, you're understanding he's the main guy who's a scorer. Attract the defense to him. And if anybody doubles, there should be someone open. But he's the one guy who should draw some sort of double team attention.
And Dozic has made some big ones in this game, but that was a while ago.
Right. Now, not saying these other guys can't make shots, but I think the play should be for Funk as the first option, and secondary, look for something else.
Well, Hines will inbound. St. Peter's up 1. Who's going to advance to take on Iona? Dosic keeps it, spins on Idowu. It's short. Watson pulls it down, and he's fouled with 1.4 left.
Again, the play was for Funk. Dosic decided not to give it to him. Off the cut there, tried to go strong to the cup. Big Sam, great defense, walled him up. Unable to finish.
And that stop could be the most important one of the season to date for St. Peter's. As with 1.4 left, Dallas Watson has 2 free throws.
The freshman has been solid all evening.
Well, St. Peter's trying to beat Marist for the 3rd time this season. And Watson, silky smooth. He's got 16 in his first MAAC tournament game. Marist, no timeouts, by the way. This one would make it a 3-point game, in which case all Marist could do is tie it on a miracle. 1.4 left. No timeouts for Marist. Erasmi's got to get it in. He gets it into Hines, who hoists it for the tie. It's short, and St. Peter's will advance to the quarterfinals to take on top seed Iona. The 2nd year in a row the Peacocks, as the 9 seed, advance out of the first round. And they have a date with the regular season champion Gales Friday night. A huge second half for Devontae Turner, 18 points after scoring just 2 in the first half. Dallas Watson chips in 17, and a big 11 points for Quinn Taylor, who was all over the floor and did a little bit of everything for St. Peter's as they beat Marist for the 3rd time this season. And their former coach, John Dunn, this one 71-68 to advance to the quarterfinals. My broadcast partner, Chris Williams, on the court now. He'll be joined by Shaheen Holloway and Devontae Turner after this hard-fought overtime win. Remind you, coming up later, we have Manhattan and Fairfield, Monmouth and Niagara. After that, Devontae Turner and Shaheen Holloway are over with my broadcast partner, Chris Williams.
Welcome to the MAAC tournament. Your team showed tremendous perseverance throughout that basketball game. What were you telling those guys?
You know what? Just keep fighting, man. It's March. It's the best time of the year. And, you know, we play these guys twice in tough games. I knew it was going to come down to this. And I just tell these guys, just keep believing. We got to get multiple stops. The first half, we wasn't getting no stops. They were making some threes. Second half, I thought we did a great job.
What was the defensive game plan? Because it seems as though you all was solid throughout the entire basketball game.
But you know what? You can't let Funk and 34 get his shots off. When those guys making threes, it's tough. We knew Parker was going to be a handful. So you got to give something up. So we said, okay, let Parker be us by himself, but don't let those guys get threes.
Excellent job, Coach. Wish you well in the next round.
Thank you, sir.
Let me get Devontae real quick. Congratulations, partner. Excellent job. What were you thinking in that first half? Because I talked about you not being as aggressive as I wanted you to be.
My former coach, he knows me well. They tried to get me away from the rock as much as possible, try to deny me as much as they could, but my coach here, a great coach, man. He gave me a great pep talk at halftime, and we came out more aggressive than ever.
Well, again, the move I think that set it off was between the legs backwards and then knock down the three. What's the thought process when you're making a move like that? I'm thinking Allen Iverson.
I'm thinking that's my favorite player all time, Allen Iverson. So if you give me that compliment, you feel me? I'm happy as ever right now. That was more of a reaction move. That's how he was playing me, and I just got the job done. Thank you.
Excellent job. Wish you well in the next round.
Thank you.
Back over to you, Eddie.
Chris, thank you very much. A happy Shaheen Holloway and Devontae Turner after St. Peter's wins the 8-9 game for the second year in a row. In overtime, they advance over Marist, 71-68. They have a date with the regular season champs Iona on Friday at 7 p.m. That'll be right here on ESPN3. Coming up after this one, we have Manhattan and Fairfield, and then Monmouth and Niagara in our nightcap. That's your MAAC Championship bracket presented by New York Lotto. And for my broadcast partner, Chris Williams, I'm Eddie Acapinti saying so long from the Times Union Center in Albany, where the final score of our first of three tonight is St. Peter's 71 and Marist 68. We remind you all games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.